Hello and welcome to another session of Uplift Yoga with Kate. Today our practice is going to be a little bit of a slower moving practice. It's hot here today. This is a 90-degree day here, and for those of you who, like me, don't have central air, a little sweaty. So we're going to do a practice that's going to cool us down a little, hopefully, and slow us down. So I invite you to find your comfortable seat, whatever that looks like, and we'll take a moment to get grounded and settled. So just finding your seat, feeling the sits bones attached to the earth, rooting down, maybe even visualizing roots growing down into the earth from your body, and feel that lift of the spine, the lift of the crown of the head, up toward the sky, and the shoulders releasing down, chest open, breath aware, smooth, head in line with the heart. And we'll just take a moment here to think about what it is that we are cultivating in our lives today. What is it that is your intention for yourself, for your practice today? Maybe bringing a word, a phrase, an image to whatever that is. It could be something as simple as, I am open to life today, or I am peace, or I am confident. Whatever it is that you are cultivating, just bringing a short phrase in the present moment, stating your intention as though it's already happening. And we'll just bring that to mind. Bring awareness to your physical body and just notice any places in the physical body that might be asking for your attention through pain or strain, illness or injury. Just bringing that curiosity to the physical body without judgment. Resolve to take care of your physical body as you move through your practice today by modifying, adjusting anything as needed. Always good to have props. I have my bolsters, my blocks, my strap, even some eye pillows when I feel like I really need to go deep. So having your props handy is a great way to modify and adjust anything as needed. And with this practice in particular, you might want some props. So we'll bring our awareness to our mental state and just notice where the mind has been so far today. Notice where the thoughts have been. Are they projecting into the future, racing ahead, lingering on some past interaction, ruminating? Or are you in the present with your thoughts? Are your thoughts jumbled or are they clear? So just bringing awareness to the mental state without judgment and noticing the fluctuations of the mental state and where it might be right now. And then noticing the mood or emotional state, what might be affecting your mood. For me today, the heat might be affecting my mood. I have a Pitta constitution, so I tend toward overheating, and this kind of weather does not bode well for people with Pitta constitutions. So I do things that mitigate that by trying to stay cool. So noticing your mood and what's affecting your mood. And again, without judgment, just bring curiosity to exploring what your mood is right now. And then bringing awareness to your energetic state. Do you feel lethargic? Do you feel energized? Do you feel agitated? Do you feel calm? Just bringing awareness to that energetic state, and that energetic state is reflected in your breath. So noticing the breath as well. Is it deep, shallow, smooth, rough, fast, slow? Just observing the breath. And observing the breath might change the breath. Then just observe yourself changing the breath if that's the case. So bring your awareness back to that intention for yourself. Repeat it to yourself. And we'll start with some gentle movement by bringing the arms overhead, gazing up, and bringing hands to heart center and dropping the head. And we'll just flow with our breath this way a few times. Inhaling up and exhaling down. So we're moving toward a 4 or 5 count inhale and a 4 or 5 count exhale. Matching the duration, the quality, the speed of every inhale to every exhale. Feeling it like a wheel of breath, following it around all the way through the top of the inhale and all the way out through the bottom of the exhale. Feeling that breath filling you up in the chest, the belly, the rib cage. And as you exhale, emptying out belly, rib cage, chest. One more breath like that. We'll stop the movement with hands at heart and thumbs at the sternum. Just feeling your presence in this moment, feeling your intention already happening. And we're going to move into a yin yoga posture. So for this, I like to use a bolster. You could use a block, or you could do it just as is without anything. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together in front of you and kind of fairly good distance away from the sits bones, more like a diamond shape here than heels really in close. And I'm going to place my bolster right on top of my feet. You don't have to do that. You could have a block, or you could just do it without any props. So we're going to move into this yin yoga posture. And with yin yoga, we want to move intentionally into the posture to our comfortable range of motion. So folding forward, just finding that comfortable spot. And with this position, we're not having to keep the spine in any particular orientation. In fact, you can round the spine if you like. And then just allow the head and neck to release, everything to release. And if you're on a prop, you can release your weight into that prop. And in yin yoga, we stay in the posture. So we find that place that's at our comfortable edge of opening, and we stay there for a couple of minutes at least, and release any muscular effort, letting go of what doesn't need to work. Noticing if you've gone a little too deep and you want to adjust, or maybe you are here for a little while and you realize you can go a little deeper. So finding your comfortable range of motion in this position and adjusting as needed. But once you are here, see if you can stay without movement for a couple of minutes, releasing a little more with every breath. We're not forcing the breath, we're just noticing the breath. Just being present with the breath, being present with whatever is. And as you release here, I'll play some singing bowls. You are invited to remind yourself of your intention. If you have a mantra that you like to work with, now would be a good time for your mantra. Or just simply be, just simply observe the physical sensations of being in this posture, being in this forward fold, noticing the hips and the back. And if you feel slight discomfort, explore that before trying to escape or move away. And maybe that discomfort will abate after you've been here for a little bit. Maybe it's something that you need to change up your position to make yourself a little more comfortable. But really exploring that before just moving. And try to stay still once you find that position that works for you. This yin practice, these poses that we're doing today, are affecting the lung meridian. So with this challenge of breathing during the heat, during the poor air quality, we want to support our lungs as much as possible. And our lungs are our first contact with the outside world. We're taking it into our body. So these positions will help support that lung meridian as we breathe here. Feeling the weight release into the earth, letting go of a little more effort, feeling the whole body releasing, softening, opening. Yin Yoga works on the connective tissues of the body. And in order to affect those tissues without causing strain, we stay in that comfortable range of motion and we stay in the posture for a little while till those tissues get the signal that it's okay to release a little and to let go. If we did this really quickly, we could hurt ourselves, but since we're staying here and doing it very gradually, we're taking care of the body, moving into this. And by staying within your comfortable range of motion, but finding that comfortable edge, that place where you feel like you're just at the edge of your comfortable range, then you're able to expand that range of motion. If you go too far and beyond the edge, then you risk pain, strain, injury, and then you take yourself back. So trying to stay at that, just at that comfortable edge. A few more breaths here. These forward folds are more cooling and more calming. So we're bringing this into our practice today to sort of calm the mind, calm the agitated thoughts, the heat. Couple more breaths. And now one more hallmark of Yin Yoga is that we come out slowly and mindfully. So we'll slowly start to just lift the head, walking the hands back, gently coming up and out from wherever you were there. And we'll counter pose by coming back onto the elbows and bringing the feet about, a little wider than hip width apart. And we'll just windshield wiper the legs side to side, just to sort of counter that, release that. And then coming back up to seated, we'll move into our next one. And this one is called quarter dog. So we're going to start on hands and knees. And we're going to drop the left arm so that the elbow comes down and the forearm is kind of parallel to the front of your mat. And then walk that right hand forward and drop the head to the forearm. So you keep the hips over the knees. You're not dropping back hips to heels. You're just keeping the hips upright. And you're walking that right hand forward, coming to that comfortable edge of tension. And then breathing here, just allowing the breath to flow, allowing the body to drop into the earth. Bring back your intention, your sankalpa, your mantra, whatever it is you're working with. Feeling the repeat of that in your mind and in your emotions and in your body. Notice where you're feeling this. Notice the places that are opening a little more. Allowing the chest to drop toward the earth. Feeling that opening through that whole right side of the rib cage, the right armpit, the right chest. Coming to that comfortable edge, allowing yourself to drop as far as you can do without pain or strain. Feeling the opening through the lungs and the rib cage. Inviting some increased mobility there. Maybe you can lengthen your breaths without effort or forcing. Maybe a nice long sigh every once in a while. Sighing helps to sort of release that vagus nerve. It's a way to signal to the body that we're in that rest and digest mode. Couple more breaths here. Now you're welcome to stay here as long as you are comfortable, up to 10 or 12 minutes if you like. Otherwise, we'll move on to the other side. So we'll come back to all fours and just do a little cat and cow as sort of a counter pose to that. Around the spine. Oh, yeah. And then bring that right arm down. Extend the left hand out. Bring forehead down to that right forearm. And again, keep walking that left hand forward, dropping the chest, keeping the hips over the knees. Breathing into that left side, feeling the lungs expand. Dropping a little more maybe with every exhale, finding your comfortable edge. When the mind starts to wander, thinking about what it might do later or what happened earlier, just gently bring the awareness back to the present moment, to your intention, to the sensations of your body in this moment. Feeling the effects of doing something good for your body, your mind, your spirit. Feeling the joy of being alive and being able to breathe, being able to move. If it feels okay to drop a little more, maybe you can walk that left hand forward a little more and drop the chest just for a few more breaths here. One more breath. And then we'll slowly and mindfully bring that left hand back, come back up to all fours. Little cat and cow again. Moving slowly and mindfully, taking your time. And now we're going to come forward onto the belly. And we're going to start out with feet pointing toward the outer edges of the mat and stack both arms and forehead down in crocodile pose. Just allowing the whole body to release and relax into the earth. Feeling your body in contact with the earth. Feeling as though the cool earth is permeating your body, that coolness of lying on a shady spot on the ground and feeling the cool radiating up. And then we'll just come up onto elbows, palms down, spread the collarbones. Maybe feel like you're kind of dragging yourself forward with your forearms to create a little more traction in the spine, and gaze straight ahead as though you're shining your heart out in front of you. Try to keep the neck nice and long without crunching it back. Feeling that nice opening through the front of the belly, the chest, the rib cage, the sternum, everything opening through the front as you breathe here in your comfortable range of motion. Now, if you feel like this is a little too much on your back, you are welcome to go back to the previous pose of stacked arms and head down. Otherwise, if you're here, keep that effort pressing down into forearms so that the head and neck are not slouching down between the shoulders. So keeping everything nice and lifted and bright. Feel that lovely breath filling up the lungs, releasing out. Maybe bring a slight smile to the lips, knowing that you're doing your practice today. You're doing what you intended for your own well-being, for your own mindfulness and awareness of what's going on in your body, mind, moods, emotions. Feeling the presence of the earth beneath you and the sky above you as you lengthen and ground. And now, if you've been here and you feel like you want to go a little deeper, I invite you to bring the hands a little wider. Press the palms and fingers down into the mat and straighten the arms. This is seal. So if you were in the previous one and that felt okay, you might try this. Again, keeping the spine nice and long and not dropping down between the shoulders, but lifting up and out and staying here with the breath. Just aware, feeling it flowing in and out, expanding in all directions with the inhale. Finding length in the spine with the breath. So not crunching into the lower back, but lengthening in all directions with the spine. Shoulders dropping. Steadiness and ease in the physical body, smooth, subtle breath. Repeating your intention to yourself. Just a couple more breaths wherever you are here. If you feel like you want to go a little deeper, you could walk the hands back, find a little deeper back bend. Totally optional. Now, if you're up on the hands, we'll come back down to the elbows. Couple of breaths, just feeling the effects of having been in that deep back bend. And then if you're on your elbows, come back to stacked arms and forehead down. Releasing, relaxing, letting it all go. And then the counter pose to this back bend is a child's pose. So we'll bring the palms down, shift the weight back. Knees and feet together, forehead down, and just arms alongside the legs, palms up, releasing the shoulders toward the earth and just feeling the weight of gravity hugging you in. Breathing into the back of the rib cage, expanding the lungs. Releasing a little bit more, letting go of any tension in the shoulders, the pelvis, even the little muscles of the face. Feel the hands soften. Couple more breaths in this counter pose. And then just gently lift the head, taking your time, coming out mindfully. And we move into a full forward fold. So for this one, I am going to place a bolster under my knees and on top of my legs. So under the knees goes one, and you could use a rolled up yoga mat. You could use blocks or a rolled up blanket or anything for that. And then on top, the other one. So this forward fold, I'm just gonna come down, turn my head to one side, and bring my arms alongside the legs. So you don't necessarily need any of these props. It's totally optional if you have them. Kind of feels good to have a place to rest. And I'm just gonna start out here. Feeling that release in the lower back and shoulders dropping down, softening. And then just turn your head to the other side if it's to one side, if you're on a bolster, because it's nice to explore. Does one side feel a little more open than the other? And if so, maybe spend a little more time with the head the direction that doesn't feel as open. And after you've been here for a little bit, maybe your body is opening, releasing a little more, and you find you don't need that bolster anymore. And you're gonna come down without it, just moving it over, disturbing yourself as little as possible. And again, it's okay to round the spine here, let everything release down. The connective tissue, all it needs is a little time. You can't rush it. You have to be patient with it as we allow it to open and release a little more with every breath. Quiet the mind. Maybe just focusing on the feeling of the breath moving in and out of your body. Effortless, continuous, life-giving breath. Releasing a little more if you can, staying at that comfortable edge. Maybe the edge is expanding a little for you. If you really like this, you can stay here for up to 10 or 12 minutes as well. Very good for the parasympathetic nervous system, calming, forward fold. Just a few more breaths if you're ready to move on from here. We'll just slowly start to lift the head. Walk the hands back. You can move away any props that you have. And we'll go from our yin practice to more of a yang practice, but it's not going to be a very vigorous yang practice because we don't want to get overheated. So we're going to come onto the back, knees bent and arms alongside the body, palms down. Exhale, dropping into the earth. And as you inhale now, we are going to direct the breath. Inhale through the nose, extend arms and legs. So legs go up, arms go overhead. Exhale, arms and legs come back. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Feet are active, legs are strong. And exhale. This time we'll inhale and stay here and breathe. Pressing the feet up as though you're standing on the ceiling, feeling the lower back still pressing down into the earth. Arms extended overhead, palms up, opening through the shoulders, feeling the breath flowing in and releasing out. Couple more breaths here. One more breath. And on your exhale, come back to where we started. And then bring your feet down, setting up for a bridge pose. So heels in where you can touch, palms down, flatten the lower back onto the earth. And we'll inhale, press into the feet. As the hips rise, bring your right arm up and overhead and turn your head to the left. And as you exhale, reverse it. Coming down, arm comes down, head comes to center. Inhale, hips rise, left arm comes up, head turns to the right. Exhale, back down, head to center. And we'll continue that, alternating sides. Movement is contained within the breath. Opening up through the whole front of the body as you inhale, find that back bend. Exhale, releasing down, taking your time. Now the next time the right arm goes up, we're going to come into the posture, stay for one breath, and as you exhale, leave the arm up as head comes to center and hips roll back down. And then inhale back up, head turns, and exhale, bring the arm down as the hips come down. Inhale, left arm comes up, turn the head to the right, stay for one breath. Exhale down, but leave the arm up. Inhale, press into feet, come up, head turns right. Exhale, release down, arm at your side, hips down. And now we'll do both arms up, so coming all the way up into that extension. And exhale, both arms come down, rolling back down. Inhale, press into feet, roll up. Exhale, roll back down. And now this next one, we're gonna stay. So inhale up, arms extended, hips rise, stay here and breathe. Feeling the strength of the legs, feeling that opening through the chest and upper back. Reaching the arms away from the head, a couple more breaths. And exhale, roll back down. And we'll do that one more time for our final exertion here. Inhale, arms up. Staying here and breathe. Really feeling that opening in the upper chest. One more breath. And then on your exhale, gently roll back down, arms at your side. Bring the feet a little wider and let the knees fall together to touch, and then just bring the hands to the belly. Feeling a release here, letting go of any tension in the lower back and pelvis, releasing the legs. And now we'll give the knees a little hug. Massage out the back if you like. Rock and roll. Make little circles. Drop the left foot and cross the right ankle over that knee. Draw the hands behind the leg and draw the knees in, keeping the spine flat on the earth. Just a nice hip opener here. Few breaths. Coming to your comfortable edge of tension here. This is another potential yin yoga pose. If you like the feeling of this, you could stay here for a few minutes. Otherwise, release that foot, uncross, switch sides, left over right knee. Draw the knees in, finding that comfortable edge and breathing there. Noticing if one side feels a little more open than the other. Noticing your tendencies. Maybe crossing the legs a certain way more often. Just observing what you're feeling during this practice, how it can inform how you move throughout your day. One more breath here. And release the feet. We'll windshield wiper the legs one more time. And then we're going to release into Shavasana. Legs a comfortable distance away from each other. Feet a comfortable distance open. Arms at your sides, palms up. Tuck the shoulders under if you like. Maybe put something under the knees, under the head, cover up or eye pillow, whatever you like for your Shavasana. And I will play some singing bowls as you release into your Shavasana, letting go of any little muscular tension in the forehead, the scalp, the eyes. Soften the cheeks, the nose, temples. Unclench the teeth. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Softening down through the base of the throat, the back of the neck. Releasing all the way across the shoulders and the armpits. Feeling that deep release moving down the arms, elbows, wrists, hands. Softening the upper back, upper chest. Feeling the lungs freely moving within the rib cage. Softening the belly, the lower back. Releasing the hips, the big muscles in the legs, the buttocks, pelvis. Releasing, feeling as though the body is melting into the earth. Releasing the thighs, the knees, hamstrings, calves, ankles, tops of the feet, soles of the feet, toes. Feeling the entire body releasing into relaxed awareness. Not asleep, but releasing, letting go. Feeling supported by the earth. Feeling that cool air surrounding you. Enjoying the sensation of being alive right now. Feeling yourself as a part of this divine creation. In this liminal space of your yoga practice, And as you bring some awareness back to the hands and feet, imagine moving the hands and feet, and then feel some movement in the hands and feet. Imagine moving the arms and legs, and then feel some movement in the arms and legs. And moving to the larger muscles and joints of the body, gently waking up and moving. Maybe a long full body stretch. Maybe giving the knees a little hug and rolling to one side. Take your time. Treat yourself as though you're made of eggshells as you move back to a comfortable seat. We're going to continue our practice with a little bit of pranayama, little breathing practice. And this is called Viloma Krama. So this one, we're going to inhale for about a third of our lung capacity, and then pause for about 3 seconds. And then inhale for another third of our lung capacity, pause for another 3 seconds, and then inhale for the full capacity and pause for 3 seconds, and then exhale completely for 3 seconds. So if you're ready, let's begin. Inhale through the nose for about a third of your breath's capacity. Pause for 3, 2, 1. Inhale another third. Pause for 3, 2, 1. Inhale a final third. Lungs full for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3. Again, inhale a third. 2, 1. Inhale another third. 2, 1. Inhale full capacity. 2, 1. Exhale. Again, inhale a third. Inhale a third. Inhale that last third. Hold it all in and exhale. Again, inhale a third. Pause, let the mind be quiet and calm in that pause. Inhale again, another third. Again, pause. Final third. Pause. Exhale. Again, inhale a third. Pause. Inhale a third. Pause. Inhale last third. Pause. And exhale. Now I invite you to continue on your own for a couple more rounds. Finish the round you're on and complete one more. And when you've completed your last one, return to normal breath. Just allow the mind to settle, the eyes to be closed. Just experiencing the effects of your practice, noticing any sensations in the energetic body. Notice how your practice has affected you energetically compared to how you started out. How are you now? Notice how the practice has affected you emotionally. Notice your mood. How is it now? Notice your mental state. How is the mind now? Finally, notice the physical body and the physical sensations. How do you feel in the physical body now? Maybe noticing any changes. And as we rest here, feeling the effects of our practice, close with a poem from Mary Oliver. This one is called Lilies. I have been thinking about living like the lilies that blow in the fields. They rise and fall in the wedge of the wind and have no shelter from the tongues of the cattle, and have no closets or cupboards, and have no legs. Still, I would like to be as wonderful as that old idea. But if I were a lily, I think I would wait all day for the green face of the hummingbird to touch me. What I mean is, could I forget myself even in those feathery fields? When Van Gogh preached to the poor, of course he wanted to save someone, most of all himself. He wasn't a lily, and wandering through the bright fields only gave him more ideas it would take his life to solve. I think I will always be lonely in this world, where the cattle graze like a black and white river, where the ravishing lilies melt without protest on their tongues, where the hummingbird, whenever there is a fuss, just arises and floats away. Thank you for joining me today. We'll close our practice by bringing arms overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart, drop chin, acknowledging the divine wisdom in everyone and everything, especially yourself. Namaste.